Right, I'm just making a short video. I might upload a few short videos, who knows. This is cooking with El Capitan. Because some people are just that fucking dumbed down and mongo. They can't do can't even do very basic things in the world. That's how desperate this world is that, you know, people can't even rustle themselves up a fucking dinner unless it goes ping in a fucking microwave. And yesterday I was sat in the fucking Witherspoons all fucking day eating that shit fucking food, fucking microwave food, you know what I mean? Fucking cunts. But anyway, this is cooking with El Capitan, and I'm just going to talk a little bit. So here's the date. It's the 10th of December, 9:45 in the morning. Let's have a little look out here. Oh, it's cold outside. It's chilly beanie. Fucking ice, everything's iced up. If it's chilly beanie outside, it's got to be chilly beanie inside. Anyway, there's the fire on the go. Because I was working in the through the summer and autumn, and I wasn't overly planning on coming back here. I was planning on working till well, April, May time, I think. I was going to see out the end of my job. I had a good job. I was earning good money, well over £1,000 a week. Fucking hell, my hat's all fucking where it was in my bag yesterday when I was in the pub. It's all fucking folded up. Yeah, I was planning on working. And what happened was basically, hang on quickly before I start that shit. Basically, what we got here is, it's from bloody Aldi, yeah? Aldi. But we got some chopped tomatoes, mixed beans, pepper, mixed herbs, some jalapeno chili seasoning, paprika, and chili powder. I've got one that's open there, which is not a lot in there. Yeah, so because I was working away, I basically didn't have any wood cut or collect any wood. You don't need to cut wood. The smaller twigs and branches actually work better if you're cooking and boiling water and things like that. Natural wood from that you get outside actually works much better. But yeah, so basically what I've done is just cut down some of the timber that was for the underground Teletubby lair. So basically I've got a little bowl, in goes the tin of tomatoes, and what I do, I fire a load of fucking chili powder in there. Not sure that's enough. Bit of paprika. mixed herbs. Some seasoning. Oh, I can feel the cold starting to set in on my arms and shit. They're not functioning as well because I've been out and about this morning. Or it might just be this crusher. Sometimes the cold can set in if you don't keep yourself moving and warm and stuff like that. And I've been out doing a few bits. Well, not out, but just sitting about doing fuck all really, drinking cups of coffee. And some pepper. In the pot is some rice. I use brown rice. And then basically mix that up, and what I do is just get I don't have a fork or anything, I literally have a few teaspoons, but I can pretty much manage with a few teaspoons and a knife. One knife, a few teaspoons and stuff like that. So what I do is I mash up all the chunks, get them down. So I'll just sit here now for a little while, mix all that up, mash all the chunks of tomato up while the rice is boiling. Yeah, so what I just wanted to talk about quickly is a few things. I have had a leak in here. I think what I had was up here above my worktop was the tarpaulin over the roof. I hadn't pulled it fully tight. And it held water, so there was always like a little puddle of water on the roof. It didn't come through, but it was on there all the time. And in the summer when I was back, I could hear the birds landing on it and going into landing on the roof. And I think a bird had put his I'm not sure what's going wrong with the fucking focus on my camera. Who cares? I can't be bothered to worry about it. But yeah, yeah. So I think a bird had put its beak through the tarpaulin. And yeah, because I built the platform that I built it. I put the base roughly to the size of this. It's only got like a little overhang, and because that's like a metre down on that side, I've only got a little chair. I built the whole thing with the chair, so I couldn't just get up onto the roof to put a little bit of tape or something over it to repair the hole. So I've used some of the tarpaulin that was over the Teletubby there and just put a whole new roof over the top, because I can sort of roll it down from this side and get it and nail it all up. I can just about reach a few places down on that side. So if I was going to build something like this again, which I probably wouldn't, I would go underground. I would put it in the ground. The underground layer was a thing this was doing, and if I needed to do that with yeah, I could basically fashion together a shelter quite easily out of tarpaulin. I have a proper tent. But if I needed to, I could just fashion. I reckon I could pretty much make a shelter that is good enough for me to just keep the rain and wind and shit out with black bags if fucking need be. It would be that easy. Yeah, so I basically I sleep on the floor. I've been sleeping on the floor for the last however many years now. 6.5. Out of the last 6.5, I've spent 5 years on the floor. I was on a bed in the YMCA for a little while, but I find beds uncomfortable now. I prefer being on the floor. And if you're happy and comfortable on the floor, it means that you can go anywhere very easily, travel about, make little shelters, and be very comfortable on the floor. I've done a winter outside. I did a winter outside with a tent, no money. I just robbed shops, you know. The police drove me to crime. So I know I can rob shops if I needed to get some food. Before I did it, you know, I didn't have any fires. I didn't have nothing then. I had no radio, no nothing like that. So I'm very grateful for very little things in life. I'm very happy without, because I've survived without them all before. Now I can only be honest to people and tell them the truth. If people don't like to hear it, I don't give a fuck what people like to fucking hear. I'm not looking at you. I don't even know if anyone is looking at me. What doesn't make sense is everything since I've been up on the internet. No people commenting, no people offering any support. The views on the, you know, if you look, even regardless of anything, and the bands and everything that I've got, but if you look at, you know, like certain things, and the stuff that gets views by fucking like hundreds of thousands, millions of views. So there's the rice. That looks pretty done to me. Let me just give that a little taste. That's good enough. So what I'm going to do, and this is mashed up enough. Now if you look at my hands all black from using the fire. Whoopie fucking do. What you have is a human race that's worried about and thinks it's all prim and proper and fucking, it's so far away from anything. Yeah, I'm under the understanding that a human being could well be a complete fucking mutant. And a poison on the landscape, and nothing to what the creator of all life created. That said, I'm a human being right now. I've spent the last 43 years as a human being. Hang on a minute, I just need to empty the water out of this. Yeah, I've spent the last 43 years of my life as a human being. In this training program. Now, does that mean I'm a human being? No, I think this is frozen. taken a long time to get the water out of here. Anyway, that's not good. Yeah, so does that mean I'm a human being in general? Well, my life, my reality now is that I'm a human being, or I've been trained to be a human being, learnt how to be a human being, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm a human being. Now, there are many possibilities in life. This is what I'm saying. People just take everything and they think everything is absolute. They're just thick. They don't question, they don't contemplate, they don't do anything. They don't think about anything, any stories, their actual existence, their actual reality, what has been around their ears their whole life regarding anything. Structures, the media that they've been told, they are so far away from any form of reality. It's unreal. What your reality is your every waking day. Fuck's sakes. Where you wake up every day. That's all you can possibly know as your reality. That is your reality. Now, everybody's actual reality and world, like I've pointed out previously, is completely different from the next because of the divisions that are put in place. Your individual prison life. Your individual prison life and your set of circumstances, your media that you've been exposed to, your relationships you've had, your children, your everything, your job, yeah, all these things are all done as an individual. So there's no your actual existence, your wants, your desires, your needs are all different to everybody else's. So there is no people of any sorts anywhere. There's no cohesion, there's no community, there's nothing. It's just a load of individuals that, because of the games that I've pointed out, the majority of people see their life as a competition to beat everybody else, to have more, to own more, be better than everyone else, win and win and win and win. I'm the winner of some weird fucked up game that makes no fucking sense, because you've been made to think, the majority of people have been made to view life as a game of acquiring bollocks and bullshit, material wealth, and pretty, well, it's not even pretty, it's ugly decorations. Ooh, I can decorate myself. And it's too far gone into the, it's too far ingrained into the population. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm at. Now, what I was saying was yeah, I had a good job. So basically, all I've done, that might even be a little bit too much rice in there. So what I'm going to do is take a few spoons of that out of there. Into a tin that I'm just going to throw away. I can afford to throw away a few fucking grains of rice. What I done, all I did, oh fucking hell, I just poured fucking chili everywhere. I should have tasted that, actually, anyway. I need a bit more chili in there, some more spice. I like things quite spicy. Yeah, so you've yeah, I had a good job. I was on over £1,000 a week. If I worked the weekend, I was taking over home over £1,000 a week, and I worked a lot. I just did a couple of months flat out. I got on well with my foreman. I was in for a pay rise, £20 a day, another extra £20 a day, which would have bumped that up quite a bit. And yeah, I had a fucking bit of a ding dong with an immigrant, and I sort of caused it to a degree. He caused it because he just started fucking pulling weird faces and that. I've never even spoken to the bloke. He'd never even fucking had any English, but he was useless. A useless fucking cunt. Lazy bastard that wanted to stand there doing nothing, watching other people work while I was working, doing all the work, and I couldn't stomach it. So I told him to fucking sweep up with the fucking brush, because the spastic was using a fucking rake, like a fucking tarmac rake. When you use a brush, a machine can't pick up fucking dust. And he started pulling weird faces at me, and then we had a little bit of fucking words. I had words with him, and then later on he walked past me, and I shouldn't have done it. I was being a fucking child, and I fucking made the noise. I went as he walked past me, and he started looking at his back like that, and I started fucking laughing and shit at him. And a bit later on, he fucking walked up to me and he barged into me like a fucking school kid. But I can't really judge him because I acted like a fucking school kid as well. But he did like a shoulder barge like you do in fucking high school, like a baby, and I flipped. And the cunt did it while I had a fucking hammer in my hand. I was opening a fucking BT box and I don't have any keys to do it, so I had a fucking shovel, a hammer and a trowel, so I just put that in there. That's how I open them up. But yeah, I had a hammer in my hand, and I ran up to him and I fucking barked at him, and he just kept pulling weird faces and that at me. I said, do you want to fucking row with me or something, do you? Do you want to fucking row? And in all fairness to him, he did. He wanted a row. He said, yeah, go on then, come on in. I started walking up the road. And I nearly walked up the road, but I'm not fucking gonna do. I don't piss around. I'm not a fucking. Ultimately, I would have to. He's a wacko. He was a wacko pulling weird faces and shit. So I'd deal with him, and then that would just draw attention to myself that I don't really need. It gives people ammo, so I don't. I try not to draw unnecessary attention to myself that can give people ammo so that they can sacrifice minions and that, because I'm a law-abiding citizen and all that. Yeah, so I'm still a work in progress. I've got no responsibility. I'm not a responsible person yet. Nowhere fucking near. I'm not responsible enough to fucking be in charge of anyone or do that. And like I said, that doesn't make any fucking sense to the reality of the world and things like that. Now, I'm not here to worry about what anyone thinks, what anyone believes. I've been on the internet for over 3 years now, and since I've been on there, I know my Facebook pages, because I started, the first few I started, I have these, so like little fucking, so all I do, bit of water in there straight away. These can be thrown away. £1, you get fucking 20 fucking little scourers, you know what I mean? So I only use them a couple of times. And then throw them away. But yeah, what I was saying was that yeah, I'm not responsible enough. I'm not a responsible person, and like I said, if you have loads of people, the condition of the population is that far fucking gone that you couldn't do anything because of the fights that would be taking place. Sulky little fucking whingy little bastards that, if anything doesn't go their way into their weird little comfortable environments that they've just about managed to get for themselves. It's like people, I've worked outside and on footpaths and things like that, and on buildings. It happens on building sites or things like that. You put a cone on a fucking footpath and you will have the mental patients of the fucking asylum coming up to you. Why is that cone there? I walk down here every day. Where am I supposed to go? And cross over the road. They can't cope with basic fucking things. I've been around this my whole life. I've worked on the high streets. I worked on the high streets all in London, everywhere, and you encounter more wackos on the fucking high streets of the mental asylum than you could possibly imagine with their weird fucking things. They can't cope with anything. You put a sign up, you put that up. What am I meant to do? Because they need to be told how to do everything. Because that's what the education system did, was dumb you down and turn you into someone who just follows orders. If you do what you're told in the asylum, then you can, like, you know, get a house, get a fucking car. Like I said, it doesn't take any intelligence to do that, but mental patients think that I've got my own house, I bought myself a car, I'm really clever. When that's fucking for donkeys. You learn those skills like as a 2-year-old child. If you play shop, you'll have money, you can sell the fucking things, you get that money, you give that money there. They're basic skills. You need to obtain that. So if you do what you're told, do that job, which, you know, like I said, the bulk of it, nearly every job is basic fucking bog standard things. People who think they do, like I said, I've already been over it, the computer thing, you know, that's nothing. You just you use your fingers, you use your skills. It's because people are fucking thick. They can't do anything that practical or sensible in reality. But yeah, so I'm not ready to look after anyone, so I won't tell anyone that I am. That's a fact, that's a reality. And like I wrote yesterday, that is the reality of the situation, is that, you know, if you go into a war situation against an empire, it can be jeopardized by the people around you that you think are on your side through the problems with human nature and what is ingrained in. Jealousy. Jealousy is a big one. I've never suffered with jealousy in my life. I've never been jealous of anyone. I've always just had the understanding that, oh, well, I can do that. I'll do that better. You know, and if I need to do it, I need to do it. It's because I had nothing. So I've always had to work my way out. And I was always pretty good at things. I just didn't have very good parents that See, what people call special, like sports, oh wow, they're great. A lot of that's just down to the fact that they had parents that got them into that and would take them to the places that they needed to go. To do those things. And pay for them to be able to do those things, because everything in the world comes down to money. Everything. Nothing is about talent. Everything is to do with money and whether you are marketable or it's something that can be done. Yeah, so I've been on the internet for 3 years now. If I was getting out to anyone on a whole big scale, then I would have had someone come up to me by now and say, you're the geezer off the fucking internet. I've seen your shit. That hasn't taken place, not once. I walk around the streets everywhere. No one fucking... People don't know who I am. That doesn't bother me anyway, so I'm not here to do that. So I have to look at the facts and the reality of it. It's like, so I look on YouTube, you see, I'm even in like down to Storm Eunice. You know, I've built a place. I'm out in Storm Eunice, some random bloke in a tent will get hundreds of thousands of views. Or millions of views, because they get put round into the recommendeds. Fucking cunt. See, I fucked my fire up because I'm trying to cook and talk at the same time, which is not very bright, because the second you don't keep an eye on the fire, the fucking thing starts going out on you. So it's something you always have to keep a fucking eye on, and it's a job. It becomes a job. The fire works with you. It likes to know you're there. Blowing it, putting fuel on it so that it can stay alive, otherwise it just goes out. And yeah, so I'm not ready to do any of that, and it's not feasible. Because in life, the more you give a human being, the more they take, the more they think they can mug you off, and the more they want for free. And that comes from child age, that comes from, you know. Because most people don't teach, you know, you might even get them to do jobs and stuff, but, you know, children just learn what they can get out of people, and that's how it works. Fucking little bastard, this has pissed me off now, so I'm gonna have to do something what I never normally do. Actually, do I need to do that? Or is that warm enough for me to eat? No, it's stone fucking cold nearly, because I'm trying to fucking do stupid things. Which I shouldn't be doing. Now I use firelighters. To light a fire. Normally I just do it very little. learn to blow the timber, so that you're learning to blow the thing. I would like to learn how to do a fire with wood, if that's possible, but ultimately the world I live in right now is a world where I can obtain a lighter very simply, and you can use fucking tissue, paper, things like that to get fires going. So, but it does take a lot of time to learn out, well, bits of time to learn about fires, to cook, to heat water, what you need. So it takes years really to learn, and you can't just watch things. Everything is about putting everything into practice and things like that. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not ready to do anything, and I wouldn't do it. Why should I fucking do anything? Because the problem is with the world is that everyone expects, and no one can do anything for themselves. Loads of their ability comes down to obtaining currency and giving that to other people to obtain food. I need to learn how to grow my own food, because what I eat is very simple and it's very easy. That all you need is a bit of mud and things like that. But the problem is that it's illegal for you to do that on any piece of land in this land unless you pay to do it in an allotment and things like that. So therefore, what you need a car to be able to get to the allotment if the allotment isn't where you are. You're also having to pay for a house. So you're at work, so you don't have time to do things, even cooking. Like when I'm at work, where I was working, that's like fucking what? It's over 10 hours. It's a 10-hour shift, I think. I was 7:30 in the morning till 5:30 at night. $10. Then you've got a couple of hours where you've got to get up, you've got to get yourself. Well, I need a couple of hours now. Years ago, I used to just be able to jump out of bed. Now I like to be up fresh, a couple of cups of coffee, have a wash, get myself ready. Before, I used to jump out of bed, brush my teeth, and run to fucking work. Jump in a van or a car. As I've got older, I like to prepare my days, get ready for the work, so that I'm fresh and get to work, do my job, and get home. Yeah, but by the time I've got home, so you've got travel time. So even when I'm walking, I was camping in some trees just down the road, but it's still 20 minutes of walk from where I was. You've got to go shop. By the time I get in, I can't be bothered to do anything. I literally want to drink a few beers. I was smoking joints then, have a couple of joints and go to sleep, and then I'm back up again. So it's very easy for you not to cook. It's very easy for you not to be able to look after yourself and do things properly. And this is how they know, and that's how they can contaminate the food supply. And this is what causes all the illnesses and cancers and things like that on Earth. Because they tell you that medical science is at the pinnacle of medical science, when the population are dying younger, life expectancy is fucking going down. Yeah, so yeah, you can't give anyone anything in this world, because all the population would do, because it's too broken, it's too lazy, it's too fucked, and too weak. You know, can't handle the sun, can't handle the summer. You can't even, the population can't even handle the weather now, because they've been kept indoors. They stay indoors in artificial environments nearly all day, every day. The majority of the population don't work outside. So they have heating on. So I'm in the pub yesterday. I come out the pub, it's freezing. I'm freezing cold because I've been in heat. But when I'm outside in the cold all the time, I ain't that cold. In fact, I was colder a few days ago than I am today, because my body is becoming attuned to the fucking temperature. Same in the heat. The heat works exactly the same. So in the summer now, you've got, what they did was blast the fuck out of the fucking air conditioning in all the shops. So it's freezing inside the shops. freezing everywhere. So when you come out and in the workplace, so when you come out into the sun, it actually feels hotter than what it is. Temperature is just, it's just bullshit. It has no relevance on your life if you are used to the temperature. What you need to know about the temperature is that in the summer it's harder to store food. Yeah, in the winter it's very easy to store food because everything remains cold. So but in the summer that could be done very simply, and my understanding looking at it now would be glass jars full of water in the ground would keep that cold if you buried it. You know, simple things, simple technologies are very easy ways that, you know, they've complicated everything and made everyone reliant on electricity and things like that anyway, but I don't want to go into that in this video. What I want to talk about quickly in this video is what people's notion of evil is, because the world is dumb and thick and it's just thick. Now, what they did with the devil and artwork and the mentally ill population is petrify them of baby little cartoon pictures of monsters. And a human being is petrified of sharp teeth. Because if it was man-like with sharp teeth, that is evil, apparently. But let me give the creator of life. So if you look round at your existence out in nature, sharp teeth are everywhere. To a mental patient, their friend and their companion is their cat or dog. Both of those have sharp teeth. Both of those are murderers of other animals. Rip them up and kill them with sharp claws and sharp teeth. Is that evil? To a bird or a mouse, a cat is a giant fucking monster that wants to kill it, and it would kill their babies without a second's thought. Is that evil? That's the laws of nature. By design. What it all means, I don't know. Haven't got a fucking clue. I'm not at those answers yet. I'm just learning how to fucking cope with the fact that I'm meant to be a bit more than someone who just went to work all the time and sat about doing fuck all, watching TV, watching pornography, playing with myself, trying to find a woman here and there that I could stick my dick in every now and then. You know, is that what sort of an existence is that? Watching TV. Now the problem is that you can't talk to a mental patient about anything other than what is in the media, because that's all they know. So even down to my boy, all he, you know, talks about what's been on the TV, what's on the internet, programs he's watching. He can't not touch his mobile phone for 5 seconds. Like large amounts of the population. Even I can't fucking stop it because it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit. Quite a dangerous fucking habit as well, because you're occupying your entire existence by staring at a fucking screen that's governing everything about you. Now, in the YMCA and at my boy's house with his mates and that, you've got a room full of people that go like this, have about 5, 6, 7 words through 2 minutes of conversation, then they all go back on their phones. Then they pop back up into reality, talk about something for a few, look at that, blah, 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 and then they all go back down again. That's weird, man. So no one's even talking. You have entire families that are in one house with earphones in, all watching different things now on the TV, on the flashy screens. So no one is even watching the same fucking weird shit on TV and that. It's the electronic device, but you know, and it's perverted the world, like, you know, and what they do is ban, and you've got to look at what they ban. Anyway, I'm waffling. What I was talking about is what people would see evil. Now, the possibilities are there. I can't rule out anything because I'm not at the answers of those things. Like I said, it takes a long time to get from being what I thought I was to something else, being a dad. All I was a dad, ultimately. But my boy was, when I took him to his mum's, he was 40, it was just before his 14th birthday. Now, at that age, all I was for the last few years, because he was out of his mates, in every bit of free time that he had, bar an hour, if that, when he had to come in and go to bed for school, he would literally, all I was to him was a taxi driver, a chef, and a cash machine. The second I didn't give him money was the second he started to hate me and not be what he wanted me to be. He hated me for that. That's the reality, and that would be the reality to most parents. If you cut off their money, you tell them they can't do this, they would hate you in an instant and never speak to you again over the most ridiculous, stupid things. Like, families fall out over ridiculous arguments, and it can be down to their programs. You saying that about my superstar that I love, my program, I hate you forever. And it can come down to something that pathetic, where you'd get families, brothers, sisters falling out, and if it ain't that, it'd be money or relationships with the opposite sex. So, you know, your sisters or brothers will cheat on your missus and that with you because they're slimy. The world is revolting. Where do you live? So if you do think you live in a beautiful, wonderful fucking wonder world, you know, you are a wacko. That's beyond cure, which is like most of the fucking population. So yeah, to a human being, a cat is this thing that lays there and they stroke it and it's lovely and rubs its leg up against you and keeps a fucking wacko company sit there talking to it like a human being, like it's their friend. Because communication is part of every species on Earth. How they communicate. Do they communicate with words though? They make noises. But do they communicate with words? Can language be a problem? Could language be a problem? Who knows? I don't know. I know there's language barriers in place, so the entire world's population in all the different countries were taught different languages. It's very easy to teach us language. It takes, and if you teach it to the young, so that divides populations, and it also gives advantage to people if they are able to talk to other languages and they've come to your land. They can all communicate and you can't hear and understand what they're saying. So that will give advantage to people if they were plotting and working behind the scenes in a foreign land. But yeah, mental patients sitting there talking to animals and calling animals their friends and companions, because that's how mentally ill the population is. The human race is. That's why I don't worry about too many people or what I've got to do. Now, if it is the creator of all life, there are a number of possibilities. The creator of all life would create monsters of some sort with sharp teeth, sharp claws, what people would call a monster. Because that's how the creator of life has designed everything on Earth, a predator, to kill other animals. So if something was a problem, it would create, the creator of all life would create something with sharp teeth and fangs. Claws. And use the abilities of, if you look at all the animals in creation, there are many abilities to predators. Many abilities. You know, a bird is a predator. To a cat, a bird is prey. And the cat is the monster. But to a worm or an insect, the bird is the monster that dives at it and starts pecking at it with giant beaks and gobbles it down in seconds. Is a bird evil? No. But because of the preciousness that a human being and the vanity of the human race, that they are the most important thing on Earth, that the entire Earth was created just for them to get to somewhere else. Now, the reason I always bring up the religion of Abraham is because the religion of Abraham is the religion that governs the majority of the world. But they think that torture for eternity is good punishment for people that don't beg their whole life to get to this other world and say how great God is. And not, as I've pointed out, if you're born into a world where you're not born into a religious family, you're taught about the education system which originally taught the religion of Abraham in this country. Now it doesn't teach the Christian part, but it will teach you about the Islamic part, the Jew part, but it leaves the Christian bit out. But because it panders to the immigrant rather than the indigenous on every level and everything. The other day I see in the news that a nursing training academy doesn't take on the indigenous population. It's literally the indigenous population are paying to fund immigrants to come here to train how to be nurses in our hospitals. But yeah, I'm waffling off topic again. The creator of all life would create monsters of what people would call monsters to a mental patient. Steaming hot bowl of chilli. for when it's chilly outside. Chilly outside, chilly in. Yeah. So the creator of life would create some form of monsters. Fuck the video. Sick of videos. So I want to eat my chili and not talk. I'm going to pause this. Well, I might add it together with another video and upload that as one. It's rude to talk with your mouth full, you know what I mean?